opportunity.
Alright guys, hello and welcome to Playhem After Hours. My name is Camp and Carl, and you are here live. Let me turn on some soothing music while I get all this overlay up, because you are now in the Playhem Lounge, and I need to get everybody's webcam set up, so it's going to take just a second. And I need to get everybody's webcam set up, so it's going to take just a second.
Kibbelz is frozen on mine.
I know, he's frozen on mine too.
Kibbelz is frozen.
I know, he's frozen on
Pretty
mine.
sweet overlay.
Isn't it? I'm gonna figure out a way to not listen to myself repeated 1,000 times.
That's a good idea.
So the viewers can't hear me. Camera refreshed.
Tell them to do what?
Kibbelz, you have a sweet sweater.
I love your sweater. Not a sweater. Hot.
Looks
Are
like
you
a
guys
sweater.
double hearing stuff as well?
I
No,
just didn't wear the short sleeves because I don't want to emphasize how white I am.
that's
I'm
Robin's
pale as
face.
the vampires
your
in Twilight.
skin.
Now, me and Robin got the
Skin, it's a
Midwest
zircon.
tan going on.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start adding things into this overlay. Oh,
Tim,
why are you so
We got John. We have John on, too.
I have a mustache.
we have John. Hey, John's here. Look at that.
What's up, John?
Hey, it's J Shark.
Don't even.
J-Shark.
Jay Shark.
So his name is J Shark.
Kind of viewer retention
He's
do we
going to
have?
bed.
2 or 3?
Let's talk about viewer retention. We're up to 3.
No, we're up to like 300, which is good. Because there's only 500 people watching
You
it
know,
play
let's see
him.
Alaska's video. That's it. Oh, we're doing this on stream. All right, cool.
Hey man, it's the way it has to be.
Yeah, this is the first episode.
This
so
is the
it
first
has to be
episode.
this way.
How I would rate the overall quality of this video call.
I
What do
give
we
it a
say?
2 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
No,
There's stars, guys. There's no
no,
10.
I do have Frodan here, so that's
I-
good for about 2 points.
Everyone,
How come everyone's webcam's frozen for me, man? I can't see.
The internet sucks.
Don't even worry about it.
Frodan, get your CSL production going here. Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
morning.
Where's the camera? Where's the boom? With the boom camera. That was so slick.
John, are you there?
John can hear us.
I can't hear John though.
Do you know how I know John's in a different country? Because he's
Why
got
his eyes are open?
he's got a
His
different
eyes.
he's got a different flag behind him. That's how I
Because of
know.
the shirt he's wearing.
What's
I
up,
actually had to look at yo, what is
Dude, Kibbelz, you have such a nice TV. Can I have it?
Yeah,
behind-
just come
dude,
take it off my wall minutes here.
It's so sexy.
This is
John.
this is so intimate.
What's John?
I actually,
Oh,
when I
God.
bought that, I was gonna buy a less expensive one, and then I looked up how expensive the mounts were for that one, and they were $300, and the mounts
What?
for this one were $60.
That's crazy.
I was like,
Oh,
oh, well, that makes
oh,
this
man.
one.
Oh,
I have
man.
like a Liquid Tyler thing going on right now where there's like just bare wall.
So
behind
why
me.
is there a star? There's a star. Doesn't Tyler keep his bed behind him?
Oh
think
yeah,
he
maybe I
does,
should get my
actually.
bed in the view.
We are.
Oh, your bed is there? Okay.
It's right behind me. Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a silver star under the British flag in the corner. Is that like the 13 colonies when Britain was
He's
one
racist.
colony?
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, guys! Thank you so much.
All right. How does
What?
everything look?
Again.
Should he
Oh
see
no,
it?
there's several stars on that. Are they bullet holes? They're bullet holes. Those are bullet holes in your flag.
Shane, I think
That's
everything
what
looks
those
okay. So
are.
whenever you want to get started or whenever we
All
want to
right.
get going.
Let's get started then. Hey guys, hello and welcome. Camp and Carl here. This is Playhem After Hours, and you're here with select casters who actually want to be up at this hour from Playhem, and we're going to go through a couple topics. I'm going to turn down the music here, even though it is very suave and cool and relaxing. Actually, I'll put it on really low. That way we'll keep some atmosphere, some ambiance, if you will, here in the lounge, because you're in the Playhem After Hours lounge, and it's after hours where we slow things down. All right, so here's going to be the format, guys. We're going to go through a series of news stories, and from not you guys, for you guys who are in the call, we're not going to be, when I say relative directions, I'm talking about in stream. So we're going to start with Robin, go to Frodan, and then it'll be kicking over to
Wait, why am
Nerds.
I first? What the hell, dude?
Because you
Bullshit.
you have an opinion.
Oh, okay.
Usually.
I have facts.
You have
You're the
facts.
cutest one here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mustache. 8 days, man.
And then
8 days.
Kibbelz,
So jelly.
followed by Jorosar, who actually I don't know because I've never casted with him before. He is in the lovely country of the UK, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's right, man. Ignore the flag behind me. I've got the Australian flag behind me on the wall, but that's because it's complicated.
You're
I'll
just
get
like
to it.
any day now. We're coming back. It's like keep on your toes, Australia, because you're just a country of convicts and aborigines. We're coming back for you.
Didgeridoos too, man. Didgeridoos.
Didgeridoos.
Biding our time, man. We're just waiting for the right time. Then we're gonna pounce. Then you're gonna see it.
I love that you used a kangaroo word.
Pounced. That's very good.
Dude, they eat kangaroo pizza in Australia.
I actually met some people who I Uggs or slippers in Australia.
Wait, what?
Are they?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
That's
No,
what I met Australians in Spain.
We're
and that's
already
what-
off
that's what they
topic.
told me.
This is good. This is
Yeah,
Oh, this is bad. I'm
exactly.
sorry. Blame me. I'm ADD. I'm sorry. Sorry.
All right. So why don't we get the first topic up? NerdSwagger is gonna throw it up here. It'll appear right up here.
Wait, I'm throwing it
There.
there?
Yeah.
It's like up to the top left.
No one taught me how to do it.
No one taught you how to do it. Does
Ben
some?
was supposed to teach me, but he didn't say anything. I was supposed to use
I can't
the
do
FTP.
anything about that. Okay, because if I click anything, it's gonna just fuck up all the windows.
How about we just state what the topic is for tonight, and then we'll get the
All right.
important overlay stuff for later.
All right. So Spencer,
Unless Ben wants to message me in Skype right now if he's listening.
why don't you go ahead and get what? Just tell me what the first topic is. And already everything's screwed up. I don't know what happened here.
Alright guys, what we're going to be talking about first is, since it's as of recent, we're going to be talking about IEM Kyiv. So, I mean, we're going to just be going over that, make sure if any of you guys watched it or what, we're just going to get your response on how you feel about it. And, yeah.
I like
Hopefully you
that.
all watched it.
Frodan's got something. What does that say?
Oh, it's backwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the topic.
You've got a topic card. Oh, cool. All right.
No, I don't.
So-
I'm holding it cheerful.
So starting with Robin. Robin, did you watch IEM Kiev?
I did. Not exactly in full the game that you would expect me to watch.
Okay.
Starts with an L and is OL. But the games that I did watch, there were some pretty nice ones. I'm really glad of Demaga getting second place. He's been playing pretty well as of late and hasn't been doing too well in terms of tournaments. It seems like he always seems to choke. I mean, he lost to MMA. That's a pretty big feat in itself. And then also White Route getting top 10 was pretty huge in my opinion as well. Yeah, so that's all I really got to see. I think Night End did well also. And Night End, it was kind of an old Playhem regular who was around for a while, but unfortunately he's gotten too famous for us over here. But congratulations to him getting top 12 as well.
Sup, son.
Yeah.
Frodan, did you watch IEM Kiev?
Dude, I was casting.
I know you were. We're going to talk about that too, buddy. That's coming up next.
I did manage to hear the final results, but for the most part, whenever I wasn't casting, I was like helping my team. I was coaching my team, man, because a lot of them were having nerve issues. Because if you think about it, a lot of these players haven't actually got on stage before, and there was a lot of people watching live at the event too. So unfortunately, I didn't get to, but I know the VODs are going to be up. I'm going to check them out.
Sweet, sweet. So next up would be NerdSwagger. Did you watch it?
Oh yeah, I definitely watched a few of the games. I looked over the brackets a lot because I was traveling a lot, so I just pulled up my smartphone and looked at the brackets. So one of the things that I liked was Millennium's Feast coming out of nowhere. I did not know, like, I hadn't really seen him play that much, so that was kind of a big surprise to look at his play style. I thought, I mean, he took QXC 2-0, but I mean, QXC's been really busy lately with school and stuff, so I think his attention is a little divided right now. But he also beat Hero 2-1, which I thought is a pretty big feat in itself. And one of the other things I just had to add about IEM Kyiv is this is one of the first major tournaments in a long time that a Protoss hasn't made it into the semifinals, which I thought was a pretty big deal.
Damn.
Because we went on for a really long time about the Terran and then Zerg and Protoss being like this really underpowered race, and then the Protoss started to come back, you know, with Naniwa and Hero and stuff like that. But this is finally the first tournament in a while where they haven't made it to the semifinals.
So losing their dominance factor there.
That's the thing.
Kibbelz, what was your favorite match of IEM Kiev that I'm sure you watched?
I'll transition really nicely, actually, from NerdSwagger here. You know, Kyiv was kind of plagued by, and it was really unfortunate because they haven't had any other problems. IEM, that is, with lag, but you know, even after fixing when everything went down, the players were still having lots of lag issues, and I think that the race that really takes the biggest hit there is your Protoss. Like, if you need units, or if you need abilities, and you need them to be used now, I mean, force fields, man, and storms, versus, you know, stim, or, well, banelings are pretty much A-walking, Zerg and Terran really, they have abilities, but a lot of things you can kind of just use before you go into battle or right as you do, and it made it really, really tough for Protoss players. So it was unfortunate, but I gotta say I think they've been doing really well. But as for Kiev, man, I'm with Robin on that boat. I've really just been between StarCraft and LoL. It's pretty much been like I commentate and I play StarCraft, and then I've been watching a good amount of League. But I mean, Demaga, he absolutely played fantastic. I did catch the semifinals and the finals. Well, I caught one of the semifinal matches, and it was really good.
Wasn't a lot of that lag because they were allowing observers into games?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
like, why would you ever do that in any tournament scenario anyways? Like, just yesterday, we were casting EU, me, and Silence, and it was just us two as observers, and we had to keep Silence up because of lag. I can only imagine 3, 4, 5, 6 observers destroying a game. Like, I don't understand why that was allowed in any way, shape, or form. Especially if they weren't casters. Like, that's just dumb. So,
Yeah.
when you start having those lag issues, I guess we're going in circles. But...
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Circle's the way to go. Space Shark was saying that it was a lot of French observers, I guess, that were in there. And I do remember that being said, at least in the Reddit thread about it when there was a whole bunch of controversy going down. By the way, Spencer, Ben is telling you how to change the message in Skype.
Okay, sweet. I'll figure that out real quick.
All right, Jorosar, that was actually in your time zone, so you don't really have any way of getting out of not watching I Am Kiev, or it's close enough.
yeah, Shark.
So, how for the EU? How is that?
It was and it wasn't. Like I was trying to, I was really trying to follow the issues in I Am Kiev quite closely, and I know a bit about what went down that weekend. That was also the weekend that my girlfriend decided would it be a good idea to come down, and we're just going to watch the Alien Anthology.
Oh, so
that's basically what I did.
Tell us about the Alien Anthology then. I'm interested.
We didn't actually get through all 4 films because we tried to do every single one on the Saturday night, screwed, and then woke up on the Sunday at something like 3 o'clock in the afternoon because we were up at 6 in the morning, and everything is now screwed up. And as a result, I just woke up about 5 minutes ago
Perfect.
at 5:20 a.m. to come down and join you guys on this cast, and I'm actually not feeling that screwed up, which is a really, really bad sign for later, because later on I'm just going to completely zonk out and crash the fucking afternoon. But someone had to get some Europe presence on the program, and I wouldn't let you guys do stuff. But anyway, I'm totally digressing. I Kiev. The one thing I did notice about Kiev is that, unfortunately, it's obviously completely overshadowed by this entire Blizzard, why won't you put a frickin' LAN in StarCraft kind of thing. And a part of me wants to think that, ooh, this is a great time to sort of make the issues known before Heart of the Swarm comes out, and the other part of me is going, wait, hold on, what are you talking about? This is Blizzard. They've taken a stance by doing this, and they're deliberately doing this with StarCraft, so there's no way they're actually going to sort us out with some sort of tournament mode or something like that. So that was kind of one side of it, and that was also a little bit sad. We attracted some really good games.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, I just got the impression that the matches sort of, I don't know how to put it, it felt like they faded a little bit in terms of how epic they were towards the end.
Uh-huh.
We sort of had like quarterfinals where it was like Naniwa Zenio and everyone was really hyped up about it, and then we had like White Rat Cast and stuff. And then by the end of it, when Demaga sort of got through the finals, against MMA, I saw people reading on Twitter like, oh wow, MMA's through to the finals, looks like he's won this, GG. And I was kind of like, I don't want to agree with you, but I kind of have no choice but to agree with you, and it was all a little bit depressing how the eventually ended up. But that was really about it. It sounded like, based on the kind of difficulties they had, they pulled off.
It sounds like Spencer typing is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's cool.
Spencer typing a
Whatever, man. We didn't want to hear what Jay Shark had to say. He didn't wake up.
Oh, that wasn't some great analysis on the tournament. All I know is that Spencer has a mechanical keyboard. So cool.
I'm just like throwing a rock on the keyboard, like.
Yeah. That's how Macs work, man. You got to get that rock out, the iRock, and just like smash it.
Oh, I know.
All right. Well,
iRock.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Well, I think that covers it. I actually didn't watch I Am Kiev because I was busy watching the CSL, which I'm going to talk about briefly, and by me I mean Frodan, because he was actually there. So
he's all nervous. He did such a good job, and he knows it. Look at him.
He knows it. So to let you guys know, as far as Playhem casters, a lot of us are also involved in another organization, not competing, they're parallel, so keep that in mind. The Collegiate Star League, which had its regional LAN at University of Irvine. UC Irvine. University of California, Irvine. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't go to school down there, but Frodan cast with a lot of notable casters. Longshot was there, Megumi X Bear, Duran, also known as Xeris. Who else? Was there any other casters there?
Yeah, Crota was there.
Crota, yeah, sorry, that's who I forgot.
The Czech 6 caster's name is Gwyn, who's actually a very interesting person. If you ever talk to him, man, he's an interesting figure. He's very willing to tell you how many partners he's had, kind of person. Including, no. The best story of the weekend was because I was hanging out with the Gunrun, Megumi, Xeris, all the other people, and he was bringing up how he was just like, we're doing the whole thing like, what's the youngest you can date, and the rule is half your age plus 7, right? So if you're 24, it's 19, right? So it's like, natural. So they would say, well, what's the opposite? Like, what's the oldest you can date? And so we were like playing with some numbers. Is it like double, minus 14 kind of thing? And then he was like, well, I broke that rule then. So we're like, okay. And then he was saying how he's like, he got this 43-year-old woman at a Twilight movie premiere.
Perfect.
With her 2 daughters.
Yes.
Wait, was it Team Edward or Team Jacob?
I don't even know, but it was just like he was like saying how he was talking, but then like she wanted to like ditch the daughters, and it was just like this weird thing. So we all kind of looked at each other and was like, this is kind of an interesting story. And then apparently he was like used to be affiliated with Mia Rose back in WoW. So he's just an interesting guy, man. He's like he's like a voice actor in Hollywood and stuff,
really?
So.
Wow.
He's some interesting characters in the CSL, man.
Cool.
But the most important thing, though, by far, is what the hell was he doing at the Twilight movie premiere?
That's what
That's a good point.
And I said, okay, sure, man. Sure. So.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
good previews.
For anyone else who watched it, it got some ridiculous viewership Saturday and Sunday. I think over 100K views per hour or something. Just it was the top thing besides IEM Kiev on last weekend. So guys, go check out the VODs. Frodan, you did an awesome job casting.
Nice.
You and the whole CSL crew. So claps for him. Good job, buddy.
I want to actually bring this attention to the other casters, I guess, just because right now, I guess, for smaller organizations, when they don't have like a set rotation of casters, like MLG, right, where you have like Artosis Day 9 and Artosis and Tasteless and Day 9 Husky, and you have like these main people who they're going to be casting. But the way the CSL worked was kind of like whoever showed up casted, but then there's a lot of like inherent competition and a lot of like feelings were hurt, I guess, implied, because since I've been with the CSL, they wanted me to cast more and then had me do the finals, and so a lot of people, actually some people showed up to the event and didn't really get to cast.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
There was a lot of like bitterness, I could taste the salt a little bit, man. Sodium level was pretty high, dude. So
get ready for that. If we, end up casting other events, the CSL casters, I'm sure that's going to come up. So was it anyone notable that was like? Well, I guess we shouldn't name names on the air, but just that's kind of unfortunate, I should say.
Yeah. So my thing is with, since a lot of us here aren't like, let's be real, none of us are big. Like big,
mm-hmm.
And so if you ever guys go to an event, make sure to like confirm things with organizations, especially like if they're smaller name like CSL. So it's just like practice. If you go to an event, make sure you're casting. Like, don't just stand there and assume. Like, you have to actively ask and make sure you are. So.
Yeah, I would agree with Frodan. That's what I do when I email people now. If people email me about casting, I make sure like what the time slots are exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive. Trying to get to cast.
Gotta be a shark.
You can't be like the douche saying I'm the bomb, let me cast. But you gotta like, hey, I kind of like these 2 players. I know a little bit about them. Can I hop in on the cast? But if you kind of sit there in the back, no one's going to ever notice you.
I think it comes down to like if you're invited to come, right? So like if the CSL was like, Frodan ahead of time, please come. Other people are like, I am a caster. I'm going to show up at this event with the expectation to cast. You know,
That's exactly what happened, dude.
Oh, really? They did?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Originally, Xeris was gonna get me, Greetorp, Day9, and Megumi. But unfortunately, Day9 was too busy, and Greetorp, I think, had some other stuff to do. So it was supposed to be me, Megumi, and Xeris would fill in whenever he can, and then we would have one other person like as a sub. But then 7, 8 people showed up, and it was just like spontaneous. They just asked, and then Duran's just a nice guy, despite what Reddit and other communities may say, but he didn't want anyone's feelings to get hurt, and yet they still did. So
yeah, I can imagine Xeris just being like, "Oh, you want to come and cast? Like, come do it," or like, "Hey, we might need an opening, so why don't you come on down? I want to make sure." And then it just becomes a little too much when it's actually happening. I'm sure.
Yeah, because I mean, events run late, so we're renting space. So like, I mean, at this point, he just says, "Okay, sure, whatever," and then I know. But I mean, overall though, that was the only like small thing that was kind of dragging down the event, like who was going to cast. But other than that, the event was great. Dude, I had my own casting assistant. It was so weird, and like someone asked me if they could do my makeup, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Did you get your makeup done?
I had my own lipstick.
You look sexy on cam, man. Like all of us here at the in the Playhem chat were like, Frodan, not a bad looking guy. So
yeah. I was like, what? That's Frodan?
It's like that's what he looks like.
Out my cheekbones before
I thought he was white. I thought he was black.
I did some smile lifts there, yeah.
All right.
That bird cheese.
All right, so we are going to be moving on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about MLG winter season that's going to be coming up. MLG just made a big announcement on their format, so we'll start it off with Shane.
All right, so I'm actually going to get off of this, and I'm going to go to a picture that I have loaded up here, guys. So MLG is going to be broken up into a different format than what we saw last year, and it's going to consist of different seasons. So for right now, the spring, summer, and I guess fall seasons haven't been announced, but here's how the winter is going to work. It's going to start out with a winter online qualifier for StarCraft 2. Streaming details are to be announced, but I believe if you have an MLG Gold membership, they're probably going to honor that, I'd assume, if you bought it later than 1 year ago. But so far we know that it's going to be at least 139 of the world's best competitors. Here are the dates, guys. Now this is invite only, and then there's online only, so it's broken up. EU, Korea, Taiwan, and then North America. From there, there's going to be a simultaneous winter arena, and that's going to be invite only. It's going to be a 3-day tournament in York, New York. Now they're going to fly in all those people, so it's not something I don't think you can just sign up for, but it's going to have a prize pool of 26K associated with it. From there, we also have the Winter Championship, and that's going to be, from what I understand, most like MLGs that we've had last year. So it's going to be a mixture of open bracket and pool play, and it's going to be in Columbus, Ohio, March 23rd to the 25th. Massive tournament, as always, live. It's going to have all the normal MLG stuff. And, some of us here work for MLG or have in the past, and I don't know if they have any insight as to how that's gonna go or anything. Robin,
what's up?
Do you know? Besides the graph, do you have any more info
I don't know nothing.
On how that's gonna
I'm
work?
honestly not in the loop anything when it comes to MLG. Yeah, I got to cast her once, but that's it. Like that, I was invited, so
twice.
I only count one because the first one was really bad.
But, hey, Robin, turn your head to the side a little bit. Just a little bit more. Oh, does that say MLG on it? Is that an official MLG headset?
Wait.
I'm a fan of MLG, man.
You have those headsets before MLG.
Ooh, good. Bro. Yeah, and NerdSwagger.
I actually had my black pair that broke, and this is the white pair that I got from being at Providence.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. But no, actually, I know nothing about it. Again, I'm just sitting here. I'm a viewer right now. I'm yearning for details. I can't wait for anything related to MLG. I'm actually just watching Tumba's Twitter right now because I'm assuming if he knows something, then I'll figure out something from them. So I don't know. I'm just waiting. I sent some emails hoping I get some responses, but nothing has came. So that's it.
Wow.
That's all I
NerdSwagger, do you know anything since you are in the
same
fold?
boat. I just wait around, or I wait a week before and then send the emails and be like, "So, what's up? What's going on?"
So I'll see you guys Friday, right?
Yeah, it's like weird because like I was talking about earlier, you got to be aggressive with trying to cast, and so like I want to send a couple of emails, but I don't want to be that dude that's like, this fucking asshole. He tweets or he emails me every single day. I have direct messages with him on Twitter. He hit me up on my Zanga. I don't even use that thing anymore. Like, I don't know.
Wait, you don't use an Xperia Play to do all of your gaming and conversations?
Dude, that's how I care. That's how I do it. Yeah, I don't know. So
Go to Robin. Yeah, you don't want to bug them too much, so you just wait it out, and you pretty much try and do it at the last minute and be like, "So Friday, I'll see you there."
yeah. I think Providence. I didn't even know it was gonna be there until about 2.5 weeks before. So I was
Wow.
lucky to even get it off. So it seems like the beta casters are kind of on a low priority, and if they're even gonna bring that stuff back. So
I'd love to see it back. I thought it added a lot. I didn't get to experience it at Providence Live. I watched it later because I was actually there, as I think almost everyone here was, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, Providence, like we were there.
The Australian
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah, even if like we don't get to cast it again, like if NerdSwagger and I don't, I still want it because like I think it's really important to have as much content as possible during a tournament. Like you should be able to walk away from watching a tournament and think I didn't get to see everything. That really sucks, but I'm really glad about all the results. Like you don't want to be sitting there pondering when the next game's coming on. I find that so annoying.
Right.
So I like the beta streams because there was 2 extra streams and there was availability there to watch something at some point if you were you had the time to do so.
Yeah. For those of you who have never attended an actual MLG or large LAN event in DreamHack,
Go.
something like that, go. Please go. It is just amazing. Although it is less organized when you're physically there figuring out when things are going to happen, like we're saying. You're kind of just like standing around, you're like, I think there's going to be a game, and at the last MLG I was actually pressed, so I was trying to get interviews and do things, and you'd be standing there, it's like, up on the main stage, we're gonna have blankety blankety blank. And you're like, oh shit, is that right now? And you like rush up. There's no room. The seats are full. People are vomiting on each other. It's just,
People smell bad.
it's chaos and
Dude, people smell terrible.
Shower.
oh yeah.
Anything you do,
Lord.
whether you're going to a carnival, you're going to a hockey game, you're going to an MLG event, fucking shower before you go.
Or-
I mean, it's-
Yeah.
Not
Or you
even
can
a
be super-
shower,
bad
but
nose or
at
something.
least do
Deodorant.
something.
You guys should be
No, like-
super cool and go and compete in MLG too.
There you
like
go.
Kibbelz it and make the front page of Reddit by making 2 spawning pools within the same frame.
Kibbelz.
Someone find that. Someone find that thread. I want to look at it. I haven't seen that.
Poor kid.
Oh.
All right, guys. So yeah, that's the MLG winter season format. Does anybody else have any thoughts or anything? So we're not leaving anybody out. If you guys want to add anything about MLG, feel free.
Yeah, one thing
Yeah.
I was just searching as and frantically trying to find it, but I couldn't. I saw an infographic that pretty much determines that the pool players that used to be determined from the open bracket are not done so anymore, but instead from the regional qualifying tournaments.
Okay.
Anybody know if that's correct?
Sound.
Has anybody seen this picture? Because I thought I would easily be able to look at it later. I was in the middle of something.
Dude,
and I was like,
Kibbelz
oh, I need
cracked,
to.
like MLG database and got extra pictures that
I can't find
What?
this anywhere, but I know I saw it.
Are you
or
sure
I
it's not on
dreamed
that
I saw it.
picture?
It was a pretty detailed dream and article if I dreamed it.
Nice.
I don't know why I dream about MLG articles,
had a PC
I heard
but I can't
some-
find it.
You-
I heard something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. I think you might be right, Kibbelz. But the one thing I would say about the new MLG format is, you know how towards the end of last year, when the GSL radically shifted their format, and they came out with that lovely GSL infographic that looked like the flowchart
Damn it.
from hell. And it was unbelievably complicated, and there were arrows pointing everywhere, and there was like code S and code A and code everything just strewn all over the place.
That's what I saw.
Exactly, but then
there we go.
It's just like
started.
the Code S, Code A, the new GSL format thing, except obviously
Yes.
different, much more symmetrical, but there are arrows
Yeah.
everywhere.
There's the link. Good job, buddy.
that's the thing, man. Like 2012 started, and as soon as people got their head around the new format, they were like, "Oh my god, mind equal blown. This stuff is actually amazing." And I think that I almost got the impression that MLG were trying to do the same thing for the sake of it, and I'm not going to shoot anything down until I actually see the new format at work. But I'm wondering if making it more complicated in the short run is actually going to produce better MLG events towards the end of the season. Because as it currently stands, until the first events finally happen, and it looks like it's going to be 3 separate events at the moment. It's not like it's one event like on TV have theirs. It looks like it's just going to be quite difficult to follow, to be honest. And I'm not sure if by the end we get to the final event, whether people will go, oh yeah, these guys are here because of this, these guys are here because of this. We're going to have situations where, well, actually, these players got here the easy way because they got it through this and this and this,
Right.
as opposed to these players that came through this bracket and did this and this. And you can see how it might not discredit it, but just make it, well, I don't know, it seems, for me at the moment, maybe a little unnecessarily complicated. I don't know if it'll turn out
That's
to be
not
that.
the picture that I saw. Just pointing out.
Okay,
but
I'm
it's
gonna
probably one
throw
that
it up
fits
here
the
so everyone can look at it. So this was posted in the chat, guys. So thank you, chat user Silas. You rock, man.
Thanks, Silas.
Wow.
Notably, the initial tournaments that determine the pool play are invite only.
Right.
Which really threw me off.
I love also that they're server based. NA, EU.
Yeah.
There's no lag or anything that can happen between the different servers. That's really freaking cool. That makes me happy.
I remember something that I read too, that the travel expenses will be paid by MLG.
Yep.
Which is extremely awesome. If you're not able to meet if you're not leaving from the region in which you competed, however, they still compensate you. They give you a stipend of like $400 to fly out, but I thought that was really cool, so I'll pass it on now.
So one thing, and that actually harkens back to what a lot of my friends who are GMs and compete at the pro level have said, is that if you can't make it, if you don't financially have the means to make it to all of the tournaments, you're at a huge disadvantage if you're not a signed team member that gets all this airfare to fly around the country and do this. If you're just a good player, funding yourself to go to all of these is really difficult. So, I don't know. In some way, this seems more fair to the general StarCraft population and allows people who aren't on teams to be competitive. Throwing that up there.
It's a good change too, because you think about it though. Halo players, they would kind of combine all together to go to an event, kind of throw money together and whatnot. So it was kind of okay for those to not be paid to go there. So StarCraft players kind of being individual by themselves, that really helps out a lot. It's a nice change. It really is.
Right. Okay, guys. Right. I think anyone else have any thoughts, suggestions, predictions about MLG winter season?
I just want to take back what I said,
Hydra.
actually.
Okay.
Because after
no takesy backsies, man. This is Playhem After Hours.
After seeing that second infographic, actually it now just makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at the official MLG sort of 3 boxes with the blue arrows, and I'm thinking, what? And then I saw that the chat posted link, and all of a sudden it all makes sense. It does seem quite nice. One thing I do remember is how they managed to arrive at the number of 139.
Yeah.
I remember there must be like a list of power ranking somewhere where like someone's reading down the list and they're number 140 in the power rankings going, oh damn it, I came so close!
Almost! How did I not play well enough?
That was
That
awesome.
was so brilliant.
That's how Americans
love
talk
the
about
cash.
their power ranking.
I'm number 140, man. Oh, I need to play harder. I'll get invited next time. But, as you could see, there is still going to be an open bracket. People are still going to be able to show up at MLGs and just show up with themselves and be able to play in the open bracket. One thing I would say is that maybe it almost reduces the number of different opportunities that the general public have to enter an MLG, because now there are 3 different qualifying routes, only one of which has an open bracket where you can show up and just play regardless of who you are. But at the end of the day, MLG is going to be about promoting how exciting things are when you get into pool play, and not necessarily seeing the same people, maybe the same underachievers, for example, over and over again just based on one fluke result at the start of the season. So I'm guessing that's what they're trying to eliminate.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't come at the general population's expense, because one of the great things about MLG is that there are 1,024 people and anyone can just show up and go. And that's one of the things I really loved about MLG. So fingers crossed that doesn't get compromised into the season.
The
Sure.
online
Right.
qualifiers are basically going to be like a GSL in between MLGs.
Yeah. Alrighty. So is that it? No more thoughts? One more thought?
That
I-
it.
One more?
Wanted
Alright.
to bring up
No,
about...
Frodan.
Frodan?
Oh,
Shh, Frodan's talking.
No,
Go
Frodan,
ahead.
go ahead.
am I allowed to?
You should raise your
Yeah,
hand
go
the way
ahead.
raise your hand like Artosis does if you really have a point to make, and just sit there quietly like this until somebody calls on you. All right,
Go ahead,
Frodan.
Frodan.
So I was talking with some of the actual big tournament organizers in the California area at CSL, and they were talking about how MLG isn't actually a sustainable business model in terms of running events in the future. And the reason being is because it's just too much jam-packed in a single weekend. And it was kind of going along the lines of how there needs to be more spread out. Like, if we want esports to grow, it has to become a cultural thing and not just an event thing. And it can't just be a thing where you just do it for one weekend and then you kind of go. It has to be where you can go out on any given weekend and then go and see some good games, and which is why Barcraft is such a good thing. And I think they actually brought up a lot of legitimate points, because I think for esports to truly grow, you have to be able to hang out with your friends and be able to communicate about it. But if you only wait for a special weekend, then it becomes sort of I don't know, it doesn't actually stick with you. And I think more people are trying to involve weekly things, and that's why, honestly, if I sign on, I do sign on with Playhem, because anyone can just on a given night tune into games. And I know it sounds like a stupid, like, this is why I do Playhem thing, but
Right.
it's because I honestly believe in what we do is going to start turning around the culture of esports. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts about it, because if you think about it, how is MLG going to expand? Eventually, they're going to have to. Are they going to hold more tournaments? Or are they going to get bigger? But what happens after an MLG is, well, I just wait for the next MLG. And there's just so much downtime. And I feel like one thing that GSL does correctly is that they try to promote something where, again, you're not afraid to just stay in on a night and watch it, versus MLG is kind of like every few months I kind of hibernate and turtle up and watch a lot of games. So it was just an interesting discussion, and I wanted to hear what you guys thought about MLG versus the culture of esports thing. So
Right. Okay. Frodan, that was an excellent point, actually. That's not something I've heard of. Yeah.
What did I do?
No, it's like...
What do you think about?
I would just listen. See, when Frodan
response?
talks, like, no, Frodan always yells at me, like, we'll be casting, and he just talks, and I just listen, man. Like, I don't...
Alright.
I have no
What's your
points.
response
I'm
to
like,
it? You know.
like,
Frodan
covered
talking
it
is a
all.
10 seconds
I just
done.
I get all
Right.
gaze-eyed, like I'm a puppy dog. I'm like, he's so smart. Just feed me, or just give me
I mean, do
more.
you
Like,
think-
Puppy dogs aren't smart, man. They're cute.
they're smart, man.
Pointing that out.
That's
They're
why we
smart.
keep
They can dig
Frodan around,
holes
because...
pretty effectively.
So basically, yeah, do we want it to evolve in the way of it's like every day so we can pick it up casually, or we want it, sporadically like MLG does, where you hype it up to these big events? So I think that's, obviously the point that Frodan's making. So yeah, I would have to agree that making it more culturally like casual, where you can just, sit down in any night and watch some good games, would be a lot better.
Oh shit, Adepsi's here. One of the, Adepsi.
Adebisi.
I can't say his name. I listen to that guy's stream, and I can't listen.
don't
I
worry,
can't
it's 2
say it
weeks.
right.
There is an eye.
I can't
2 weeks to figure it
hear.
out.
I can't hear him at all. Like, I can't say that. I mean, because I don't. Anyway, so it's good to have him in chat. Maybe. Let's see. What did he write here? Adebisi. Okay. Did he have a point? Let's see. To speak to Ferdinand's point, GSL works because the
He's
players.
talking about GSL. Why GSL can be like a monthly thing? It's a daily thing. It's something that people can be. It's because everyone's in a centralized location.
Yeah.
Steam houses. Everyone can travel there. Blah blah. Seoul, Korea is the place for StarCraft, and StarCraft here in the United States it's sporadic. It's all over the place. We have so many big cities, if you will, that people like to travel to, and that's where we want to have our big events. But I don't know if we can make StarCraft a centralized location. If so, I vote Kansas City, so I don't have to move anywhere.
Cool.
But
Well, that settles it. That settles it
Yeah.
then. Kansas City, StarCraft capital of North America.
yeah, I mean, StarCraft became huge in South Korea because they were in a depression, really, and they just needed some kind of game, or they need some kind of entertainment. StarCraft was cheap; they had land available, and that's why it kind of exploded out there. And so, I don't know. I mean, we don't have anything really to make it explode out here.
Atlanta, I don't think so. That's not gonna go over well.
Yeah,
well,
man.
my point was that, and I kind of put it in chat, was that MLG, the way they make money right now is sponsorships and their events. But if we want to truly make the esports thing into more of like the daily basis culture based, movement, then you have to invest in the daily things. But that's not where MLG makes their money, or makes their sustainable business model. It makes it through the event, so their events are going to get bigger, and they're you can see it, they're cutting events right now to make it more of a seasonal thing, and so it's just kind of moving away from it. And then I'm just curious exactly like what they're doing. In fact, someone even brought up the point that they think MLG is losing money, but they're not being very public, because obviously there's a lot of disinterest in exposing numbers like that.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting food for thought, and that's what I was just doing. But we can move on to the next topic. We talked
You know
about
what?
it.
since we didn't work around the circle, I'm actually going to voice what I know I read in the article.
Okay.
Maybe John, it stuck out to you. Like some things popped out to me, like the travel expenses paid thing. This also popped out to me. The initial qualifiers that they're doing to base this pool play, like the winner thing coming up, they're doing one for each MLG. So they'll have one before each MLG. I don't know about the championship, which they still are calling Providence the championship. But what they are doing is they're going to be airing these games for weeks, maybe months before the actual event. So they intend to space these out and broadcast them in a GSL type format so that they get viewership in between the events themselves. And actually, the thing that Sundance said or whoever wrote the article was quoting Sundance. The intention behind this, Frodan, was to address specifically the problem that you brought up. He said that we don't want this to be a short event that only happens 5 times a year. We want to create content in between the actual tournaments. Now they're still going to have, the MLGs that you go to, but they're trying to create this sustained game sequence. I don't know what to call it, but basically where they have, those are a lot of brackets in a lot of different areas that they are going to air each game.
I
can't find this article for the life of me. I really wish. I'll keep looking.
Track it down, man.
Maybe it'll be in my history. I'll take a look there.
And
the one thing
the first place I should have looked.
Last points.
You guys were, you guys were comparing the MLG to GSL, and I think you need to definitely address the elephant in the room. I probably notice this a lot more because I'm in London, and therefore I wake up in the morning and think, great. A fantastic reason to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning is because I get to watch all the afternoon sessions with GSL while you guys have to stay up till stupid o'clock. So that's pretty awesome for me. But one thing you have to realize is that in terms of tournaments, the GSL has done a fantastic job of making sure they're effectively the only major tournament in the time zone where they broadcast.
Okay.
That's something MLG aren't going to be able to do. And in fact, MLG most recently have even clashed with other tournaments. I think they're going to be clashing with Asus ROG as well, if I recall correctly, like in 2012, although that was originally unintentional. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of competition between sort of NA and Europe for that kind of time slot. And MLG, I mean, that's what makes Barcrafts work and stuff like that. I help, well, occasionally help try to organize the London Barcraft, which is freaking awesome. But it comes a time when actually we have to start picking and choosing what events we're going to be running, because we tried to do MLG a weekend after DreamHack, and logistically that just started becoming impossible. And you're going to start getting things like the MLG online tournaments are going to be all the time, to a point where, hold on, we really need to pick the cream of the crop here. People are going to start going to Barcraft and DreamHack, and they're going to sort of save the really important stuff for whatever MLG decides to hype up. And because there's this competition sort of internally for what time zone you're in, I don't think MLG can become a year-round, everyone's going to be watching this all the time thing, just because there are so many other tournaments competing with it. People aren't going to tune out of Home Story Cup to watch it. People aren't going to tune out of the Asus ROG to watch it. Why? Because, MLG's going on next week anyway, but these events are only on once every 3 or 4 months. And I'm worried there's a chance they might slip into it. I know I'm playing a bit devil's advocate here, and I don't 100% believe that's the case, but I do think that's a danger.
I think that's a good point to end on.
You got the last word in, man. Check that out. Like,
Dead end.
No one is going to argue with you because we're moving on.
We are going to move on, guys. We are going to move on to some great news. Violet finally has a team, and that is Team Empire.
Good for him, dude. Yeah, Violet's such a pro, man. He's that kid works so hard. He deserves anything that has came to him. He really deserves being on team. It's weird saying Empire Violet when we cast him, just because he's always been on his own, kind of solo-ish. But congrats to him. He really, really deserves it. And also, if you guys haven't seen, like, we released 190 replays, I believe. Ben posted it on Reddit. Everyone can watch that. You can watch every game he's had since he's been in Playhem. It's a wonder to watch him, man. He's so good. He's the only Zerg player that can make Hydras work against Terran and actually win the game. It's stupid how good he is.
I think that somebody had figured out at one point, because they track his wins, right? So how many times he's actually won the daily, and it came to, like, he's won like thousands of dollars in Playhem to just show like what you can do here in Playhem as a very skilled player. You can definitely on a daily level supplement your income by performing well at Playhem. So I'm not saying like, oh, well, don't play because Violet's here. I'm just saying that like, Playhem is a
Potentially, you could pay for your subway.
potentially you could pay for your subway. Yeah.
He's won 19 times in first place.
19 times in first place. Yeah, it's a considerable amount of money.
Yeah, he disappeared on us for a while, but he's came back, so he's not pulling a 9 end.
So congratulations to him, and some other notable facts. I mean, he was just recently at the home story as well. He did the group stage there and beat Hazoobs and Hero 2-0 in the group stage, and he beat Marine King in the round of 8, which I thought was a huge win for him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think beating Hero was bigger.
You think so?
Really?
I think so. That's just my opinion, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
well, it's still a great feat overall. I mean, when I think flashy all-star players, I think Marine King more than Hero, just because Hero has a bit of a nervousness to him whenever it comes to actually playing in tournaments. He kind of just ticks. He has a problem with getting up there in terms of a tournament scenario. But congratulations to Violet. I think he took 4th, right? It was 4th.
Something like that.
At Home Story Cup, which again, I mean, it's more of a laid-back environment. But it's still pretty awesome to see him getting up there, and he also got on a big screen, a big tournament stream, if you will. And a lot of people got to see him do his thing. So,
well, I think that was his first major sort of foreign tournament that he's traveled to as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was talking about how excited he was to go there and how he hasn't been out in a while. So, for him to do that well in such a competitive environment, even though it's a bit laid back, it was really awesome, man.
Yeah. So, Kibbelz or Shane, any thoughts on Violet?
I want to see him go to MLGs. I mean, that's the thing. I want to see him in the US playing.
He was just at the last
MLG. Yeah.
Oh right. I want to see him at more MLGs. Damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Every MLG.
He got the round of 32.
Yeah, that's right.
It was such a good game, and he beat him 2-1.
Yep.
Actually, I was lucky enough to be able to cast that. Actually, he did so well, and that was just a game that wasn't seen because not everyone has the beta streams available. But he's been good for months, man. I can't wait for him to nail a huge tournament win. I hope Empire gives him the ability to do so.
Bonk is calling me out here. He lives in the U.S., so there you go. Me not being very smart. Shows how much I know, but...
He's down south somewhere. I thought like Texas or Nevada or something like that.
Oh, here's our instant experts. Everyone's like, Wikipedia. It's like, idiot, he lives in Texas. I'm like, oh my god.
I love chat, man. Somebody in chat asked what was the bigger pickup, SCAlaska going to Rain or Violet going to... Wow. Why am I
would think
it's right there at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen.
Or Golden to Light.
Or Golden to Light, which that one I'm honestly not too aware of that acquisition, unfortunately.
That was really funny because at CSL someone made that announcement and they were saying, yeah, like Violet joined Empire and Oxlov joining Rain, and then because Xeris owns Light, by the way, he has like these baller ass business cards that are like clear, but then like you turn it into like I'm pretty sure it could like do holographic thing, like Princess Leia will pop out of it and start asking for help kind of thing.
It does,
so advanced.
Actually.
But you were saying like, yeah, and then Golden left Slayers for Light, and that's exactly how they asked. They'd curled their voice like, Light? And then Zara just looks at him and just shook his head, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I was trying to save it. I was like, yeah, he went for, Team Light's a new thing, having other great players like Kawhi Rice and everything. And I was just trying to make, like, sound casual, but I don't know, man. It brings up a good question. Why leave Slayers? It's just that is the team. Where do you step up from Slayers? You're with MMA, arguably one of the best, or if not the best, Terran in the world, and you have Slayers Boxer as your forefront. I mean, why leave Slayers, honestly? And I mean, obviously, there's things that we probably don't know. In fact, there's a lot of things in Korea that happened that's obviously not public, like the whole Coach Lee thing. And I mean, I heard about that like a year ago, but I didn't expect it to actually come out in public. But it's just, it brings up a really interesting question of why so many Korean players are leaving Korean teams. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else on any pickups?
Are you asking why they're leaving Korean teams, or just that was a rhetorical question? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of both. It's just. Yeah. I'm here to provoke.
Is that a topic we want to dive into or not?
Yeah.
Poll chat now. Oh wait.
I'm trying to get our poll system up there now.
I'm trying.
Shall we dive in or shall we get out of the water?
I'm trying to like Brady Bunch
That's
this.
a deep pool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty deep pool, man. I mean, like on Coach Lee alone, we could talk for 20 minutes easy.
We'll put that in as a topic for next week. How about that, guys? We'll put it in the show notes.
Koreans leaving.
Yeah.
All right, good call.
Awesome.
Don't tell state of the game.
don't tell.
I'm sure they're taking notes. I'm sure, like, in controls right now, like, watching this, he's like, so that's what they talk about. Like, scribbling down notes.
Maybe
Oh.
he's doing his to steal whenever we're going to
If
talk
only
about
we
something
could be
next
Playhem After Hours.
Needs to do
Oh.
the webcam thing.
He's like, yeah, oh, thanks to Ben, by the way, for getting this overlay made in, like, what was that, 30 minutes, guys? 40, like an hour.
Yeah.
He made
Ben-
this.
Ben's an actual pimp, by the way. Like, if you walk into his bed, he goes to sleep
Whoa.
dressed in a
You don't-
white
Whoa.
hat. He doesn't
You
like
don't
go
lay
to
on his
sleep.
bed. You walk
Yeah.
into it.
You walk into, because it's on a wall.
Wait. His bed isn't for sleeping, it's only for bedding because he casts a levitate spell when he goes to sleep because he's a wizard. So
There you go.
Cast
Yeah,
something else,
yeah.
cast it for him.
For
That's
show.
how big pimp he
he
is.
sleeps in the air.
Oh,
And
all right,
towards
no
the
more
ceiling,
thoughts
he likes the left
team
corner.
changing or anything like that?
What's that?
No other thoughts on team changing or anything like that?
Let's move on.
All right. So the other
Yeah, we're
one
good.
we had was the Grubby sponsoring incident. I don't know if hopefully you're all aware of this. Grubby, people were kind of freaking out that SteelSeries dropped Grubby from their sponsorship, and one of the marketing guys actually kind of did a little
I wanna
retort.
see this.
Yeah, he did a little retort, kind of freaking out on the community because some people tweeted, "I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna buy your SteelSeries keyboard because you don't sponsor Grubby anymore." And then he commented back like, "Well, I don't think that's right. You shouldn't drop us as a company just because we don't sponsor your favorite player." So, start with Shane.
Okay, so, I mean, Spencer and I talked about this a little bit before when we were kind of fleshing out the topics for this week. I'm going to get real close to my mic so things get sexy. Oh, yeah, there we go. I actually feel that this is a problem, a twofold problem. Number one, the community needs to understand that money is not this infinite source when it comes to sponsors, and I'm sure that the people who kind of control the money over at the marketing department don't really think about it that way. They don't think like, well, we're dropping Grubby. It's probably a bigger issue than that. And yeah, the axe had to fall there, unfortunately, and I'm sure it was probably one guy's job in middle management to do that. So the fans need to understand that they do their best to sponsor players with the intent of picking up people to buy their products. I mean, that's the whole reason why they sponsor them, so that people like it. Conversely, though, as far as like the fans need to understand that, and then the company needs to understand to some degree that they should maybe have a little bit more foresight into their contracts and how that works, so it's not so abrupt. Because I know when Tyler had Stride as one of his main sponsors, and he plugged it at the end of every one of his shows and his vlogs and at tournaments, and when they came to the end of their contract agreement, which was a known date, you know, he was able to say like, okay, well, now I'm done with Stride. Thank you for the support, you know, and it wasn't this unknown factor that just kind of happened overnight. So I think there needs to be accountability both ways, and people need to chill out and realize that the sponsors that sponsor people in esports are trying to do as most they can for the community. They sponsor a lot of great tournaments, a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, and they shouldn't get down on them for one bad incident, because you know you want to have esports around. So getting down on them is kind of killing esports. There, I said it. So drinking game, killing esports. Knock it back, guys. So that's how I feel about that.
Okay. Moving on to
I don't know.
Jorosar.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Fred. Okay, I don't know. I just want to put a tidbit in there. I mean, Grubby's been okay, but he's not a player that before this whole entire huge arrangement happened, he wasn't somebody that I always thought about in terms of being sponsored. Who I was like, okay, I'm buying a SteelSeries keyboard because of Grubby. I don't know. He never really stood out to me as someone. He wasn't a personality, in my opinion. So him being dropped, it happens. It's cool. I feel like he got more attention after he was dropped. And that really, it was a double-edged sword for SteelSeries. Dropping him, and it became huge on Reddit. It was just kind of unfortunate for them, and it's really, really dumb for it to kind of pull the pitchforks on SteelSeries for a player who really didn't have that big of a personality before that happened. So I don't know. That was my opinion on the matter. I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
Frodan?
people,
Oh no, go ahead.
right, well, people like you pick people up and you drop them for business reasons all the time. I mean, the easiest thing to point to in terms of analogy is when Stripe Crow and Axlav, I believe, weren't dropped but didn't have their contracts renewed. if I recall correctly, by EG. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's nothing personal. You guys release a statement, you get on with it, and business decisions have to drive esports. It's such a fledgling community, and it's still, even though it's growing, you don't want to risk it becoming a bubble. There are limited funds for everyone to invest here, there, everywhere, and you can't just afford to be chucking money at it like that. And if SteelSeries have decided that, okay, maybe sponsoring Grubby isn't quite the direction we want to take it this time, I don't think the backlash, I was really surprised, and I think part of that comes down to PR, to be honest. I'm really shocked that people didn't think to, well, hang on a second, SteelSeries is leaving, maybe we should put in like a nice statement saying, oh, we've worked together, we sorted out a lot of stuff, now it's time to part ways. And I get the feeling that, what's going on? What's happening?
I think your sound cut it out. Or was that just
No way.
Everyone's sound cut it out or
Oh,
something.
I was like, what the hell? Skype for the win, dude.
I was looking at your facial reactions.
Yeah,
and
I was like, is
nobody
he still
had a
talking?
big
Is it me?
reaction, so I was like, okay, I gotta fix my volume.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Simultaneously, everybody just kind of like freaked out and looked at their
As soon
settings.
as
Like,
the game came back that it came on, so I don't know if it's
Are we back? So what's happening now?
Yeah,
No, we're not.
good again.
Okay. Well,
I-
I'll sum it up in a sentence because I don't know how much of that people got. But basically, it felt like one of those situations where if Grubby and SteelSeries beforehand issued like a really nice statement saying, "Oh, we had lots of times, but now we're parting ways," and did the whole sort of happy couple breaking up kind of thing, everything would be fine. But I get the feeling that was mismanaged somewhat, and that's the main reason why the community backlashed so much, because it almost felt like, oh my god, an injustice has been done here, when really that hasn't actually happened.
I thought that was my point. You stealing my points now?
Oh,
He's like,
what?
It's
Wait,
like
what?
Tyler,
Wait, whoa, what?
what they said.
I don't quite get the circle. Am I next then? Or is
I
it...
think
We got
going
way
right
out of
now.
order there, I think.
Yeah, so go ahead,
Yeah, because it
Kibbelz.
doesn't actually go in a circle on there. So...
I don't know. Yeah, it's
I actually...
circle.
Did they cut his contract early, or did they just stop sponsoring it?
They cut his contract early. That was my understanding of how that worked.
I heard that he had a performance bar to hit and he didn't. So
Oh, he did. Oh, okay, that's a little different.
yeah.
Okay, so I would be surprised by cutting his contract early, but basically I actually took down a few notes here. So first, they invested on him back when esports was quite a bit smaller than it's really become, and then it's projected to eventually come. And now, obviously, it's getting a lot bigger, so they started off by investing into a player. When, esports is smaller and there's this person who is doing video logs and things that are already pretty established, investing in him seems like a great enough option. But now they're obviously looking a lot into teams, as they've been doing a lot of sponsorship for teams lately. And that's the other thing. So I'm not going to throw names out of what team, but I know that right now of a team that SteelSeries is looking at sponsoring. And Shane, you mentioned, and it was like perfectly Alaska, Shane, by the way, guys. You mentioned that it may have very easily just been a business decision, and the time came to cut him for whatever business reason may be. And the sponsoring of a different team, of a different entity, could easily be that reason. Now, they may not end up sponsoring this team, but right now they are in negotiations to sponsor a different team than they currently sponsor. And Grubby may have been, where that money is ending up eventually being allocated. And also about the tweet reply that the company had back, or SteelSeries. Honestly, some people do only purchase things because of sponsorships. For instance, I have G.Skill in my computer. It was like an extra $10 because I know that G.Skill sponsors GSL and I love GSL. It's the only reason I went with G.Skill. Otherwise, I would have gone with Kingston or something of that nature. So if they stop sponsoring GSL, would my next purchase be G.Skill? Probably not. It's the only reason I bought it in the first place. Sometimes, that's the reason you buy something, because they sponsor something you really love. So you can't get angry at the guy for deciding not to purchase future things, but in all honesty, SteelSeries sponsors a lot of other StarCraft 2 things. So if he's just a grubby fanboy and doesn't love, StarCraft, then I can understand his decision, but SteelSeries really supports esports, and I think they're a great company to go with, as well as other ones that sponsor esports as well. So that's my 30 cents on the situation.
Okay. We got Frodan next.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was it. That's what he saved up
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting that out of the way, man.
You're
Good.
waiting for this moment. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
talk. Good talk.
Oh, jeez.
I would talk to some people actually
for.
from.
Jordan talks to everybody.
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, he does.
Frodan's like, I know a guy. I know a
Networking,
guy.
Man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's legit.
What? I didn't hear
Continue.
you.
Talk.
Go ahead, man.
Networking, it flows out of your veins.
No, yeah, no, seriously. When I go to events, I'm talking to some. I'm always talking. I just love talking. Like casting is just so natural.
But you have nothing to say when it's your turn. I love talking.
No, I do. Okay,
I
so
do.
I got to talk to some people, and they were actually TT Esports was actually saying that they think they sponsor esports too much because there's actually no concrete way to determine if they're getting an investment return in their esports gear, and they're actually starting to become a little bit more frugal starting for 2012. And it was an interesting discussion that I had with them because how do you actually measure how much you're getting back for, you say if you are G-Skill, and Kibbelz is a person who did purchase based off that sponsorship, but how can you measure it? And so it's actually, despite the fact that esports is growing and everything, right now the reason why hardwares and all these other, peripheral companies are going in is because everyone else is. But after everyone starts entering because of implied competition, companies might start pulling out really soon. So it's just like I'm just telling you guys, like, don't be surprised if certain companies are starting. SteelSeries is really bold for being the first, but I foresee a lot of stuff happening in the future because if you're a peripheral company, how can you get any tangible numbers on return of investment from there? So there's no, like, the huge companies don't have to worry about it, like Intel and AMD. Obviously those big companies don't really have to worry about it, but from what I'm getting it right now, companies are actually getting a little bit discouraged because they feel like a little bit cheated in the sense that they thought esports would provide a bigger sales spike, but for some reason it's kind of plateauing for them. So just like an interesting thought that I want to put into the discussion.
No, that makes a lot of sense as well, because there are so many teams and so many, I would say, like, larger teams coming into prominence right now, that the average consumer only has a certain amount of money to spend. I mean, recently, if you take a look, say, a year ago, GSL was just starting out, and I bet the Handsome Nerd probably got a heck of a lot more sales than, as a percentage of the audience than it might do now. And maybe that's just because there was, like, people were driven to buy what they saw being advertised on stream and stuff, and that makes total sense.
Right.
The problem is when there are, like, sort of 5+ sponsors at every event, and we're being bombarded with different events every week, which is a great thing, by the way. God, I love it. But you can't start expecting people to be buying at the same rate because people only have a limited amount of disposable income to spend. And because there's so much more choice, people are only going to start buying the stuff they really like. Like Kibbelz was talking about how, notice how I flicked to the left, I knew he was that box. Yes, I didn't get it wrong.
Wait.
He bought G-Skill for his computer, and I think that's absolutely awesome. And as he rightly said, well, hang on, if they stop sponsoring GSL, my next purchase might not be G-Skill, and that makes perfect sense. But you wouldn't necessarily buy G-Skill because you watch GSL, and then you're going to buy all the MLG stuff, and then you're going to go buy some Home Story Cup gear. Before you know it, you've actually run out of income. The only thing I have, I think, at the moment is my latest laptop is a Alienware, and I love it to bits because it now means I can actually cast on the road. And I often go working in coffee shops and stuff. If I need to do a spontaneous cast, I know I can do it from my laptop now, which is great. But I wouldn't have done that if they don't support Team Dignitas, for instance, which, long story short, is kind of half the reason I got into casting in the first place. But we'll come on to that in the last topic. So there's just so much more for people to choose from these days that there is a return on investment, but it's not going to be the same as when people got in at the ground floor like a year and a half ago.
All right. Well,
all right, sweet. And just my final note, I guess, is, I mean, if one of the big things is, Reddit had this big uproar against Grubby getting dropped and whatnot. all that we can do is continuing to grow esports is, email or tweet at these sponsors and say, hey, I bought your product because you sponsor such and such player / team. And just continue to do that, and that's what's going to help grow esports. So any chance that you get, you might be kind of passive about it and be like, all right, I'm going to go buy this product, but not tell the company about it. Do tell the company about it. Let it be known. So that's my it, and I'll throw it over to Shane right now.
All right, guys. Well, I think that
He's there.
closes up that topic. Did I say something about this?
I think he's dead. He froze.
Has he muted
Transition
it?
nicely. I'm
Frozen
tweeting G-Skill right now. Tweet.
There you go.
G-Skill. I
His
bought-
head's gonna fall forward, and there's gonna be like a spear through it.
Everybody, if you bought even if you didn't buy a product, there's somebody that bought
Just
it
lie.
but didn't tweet at them. Just lie.
Can you-
Say
Yeah.
I bought X product
Make it a believable
Can you
number.
hear me?
from
Hello?
you because you
50
sponsor
headphones.
their.
Hello? Can
There you
guys-
are. We
That
can hear you.
fans
Oh,
are
you guys couldn't
fans
hear a
and
thing I've been
it's
saying,
all
could
enter.
you?
No.
Oh.
No, you
Less
couldn't. But it's all right.
10 minutes or
So I
whatever.
just
Okay, well, the thing is, I guess, this microphone, Frodan, is your Blue Yeti really susceptible to, like, static and freaking out under static?
No, man.
Because
I
this thing
treat my
gets
Blue
this
Yeti
thing
nice.
gets a shock and it like spazzes out. So I don't know if that's it, but I'm actually
Why do you
using
wear socks when you cast?
because I love my feet get cold. It's Alaska, dude. It's really cold
I
up
wear
here.
moccasins.
Anyhow, I'm on my webcam mic now,
Oh,
so it
I've
doesn't
got
even matter.
moccasins.
moccasins.
All right, so
Moccasins are awesome.
we're gonna move into the final topic today, guys, and this is something I'd actually really like Ben to VOD for us, and I'm actually gonna turn off the music so the VOD doesn't have like really smooth jazz in it. Although if you like the smooth jazz, let us know. If you don't like the smooth jazz, anything you want, guys. There's always the Playhem feedback forum, and that's on teamliquid.net. And then you can also throw stuff into the Reddit thread that we created about this particular VOD. We're going to be doing this all again next week on Monday. So Monday night, guys, stick around, tell your friends. We're going to have basically the same format that we're doing right now, unless there's an overwhelming opinion, yes, no, maybe bad. We'll change it up if we have to. But our final topic for today is actually something that people ask us a lot in chat and actually in person at events and whatnot. So we're going to make a quick little VOD about how we got started casting, or like what got us here to PlayhemTV or to MLG in the case of some of our more illustrious people here in chat, as well as like Frodan and I cast for the CSL. Where did we start from, our humble beginnings, so to speak, and maybe tips for you guys who are out there who want to become casters yourselves or are interested in that scene. And we're going to start round robin style, and by round robin I mean we're starting with Robin and we're going to go clockwise through.
Oh, that was good.
Do you like the segue?
All
Yeah.
night to-
All night. It's
I've
on.
done it
It's in a
before.
text
Today,
file.
man.
It's in a
Oh,
text
that's
file.
so clever. Oh my gosh, where's Batman? I should have added that one in there too.
All right, so we're gonna give about a few minutes,
I'm
and
right here, man.
and everybody's gonna get a chance to
Fro-man.
say their story.
Abs.
So kick us off, Robin.
I don't know. A lot of people have already read my stuff because I've been fortunate enough to have Brightside is actually in the chat. She did a interview on me. The thing I try to tell everyone is you got to keep trying. You got to put a lot of work into it. You can't ever let anyone tell you that you're not doing a good enough job because you're doing something they're not. Be respectful of people who give you criticism. The way I got into it was I just found someone that needed someone to cast. They were running tournaments on the side, and my guy was Coach Oz from the MLG forums. Hopped on with there, just kept casting, and I got lucky. I bumped into people that helped me out. I bumped into Frodan. He was actually really, really nice to me.
Wait, whoa.
Well, I didn't
Wait.
bump into him the way I wish I did,
Wait,
but
Rob, to the first time you casted me when I was playing in your tournament.
yeah. Actually, if you guys want to see horrible casting, you should watch my first couple of VODs on my YouTube. It's pretty horrendous. I actually casted Frodan, and his team is on as Saga, or was Saga, and I actually just called him Saga the whole time instead of his actual name. It was pretty horrendous. But I bumped into him, and he actually gave me some words of encouragement. So again, with that, be nice to anyone that you run into. But really, just keep trying your heart out. I mean, people are going to give you criticism, and you're gonna have points where you're like, I'm not making it anywhere. Nothing's gonna happen. I should give up. Just don't. Keep going. I don't know. I can't really put too much emphasis on it. And be appreciative of the people that do support you. I mean, there's so many people out there that are willing to support you. Thank them for it if you get the chance, because they're the ones that's gonna make you I guess known. They're the ones that's going to talk about you. I don't know. I just a lot of luck and a lot of hard work, really. I mean, I wish I could say there was some easy way to do it, like a lot of studying, or some you got to know somebody or pay somebody. But no, it's a lot of work. Keep trying, man. That's all I can say. That's it.
All right. So moving on to Frodan. So give us just again. I'm going to remind everyone the format. Quick backstory of how you got started in casting, and then tips or tricks for those who want to get into the game.
Alright, so I actually got my start through kind of luck too, I suppose. The way it happened was that our CSL team, back in 2010, yeah, that was a long time ago, and we basically needed someone to stream games because Zaris was our team captain, and he wanted to see who he can put like the lineups of, and so he wanted to see who was good and who was not good enough. So the way no one had a really good computer at that time because everyone was still playing on laptops, and I just built my computer at the time. So I started streaming some games, and then people liked watching the game. So in the chat, and I was like using live stream at that time, and people were saying, you know, you should like, oh, I heard you over talking, you should try casting. So me and my buddy at the time, who is not even like anywhere near StarCraft 2 anymore, was casting, and then all of a sudden 100 people showed up. And I remember I actually didn't even enjoy casting at that time because I didn't know what I was talking about, because StarCraft was still so new to me. I was just barely diving at that point, back when you didn't have Magic League, and I was like just considered lucky to be able to, because I cheated. So I came to the room, to the chat room, and actually said, hey, like, I think you actually have a lot of potential in casting. And he actually PM'd me, and he said, you sound like HD. I've been hearing that, but he said, you sound like my buddy HD, and I think you should keep casting. You have a lot of potential. And then ever since then, it took a lot of encouragement, because I had to look up who Husky was. And I was like, oh, this guy's huge, so if he believes in me, I guess I should. And ever since then, I just eat every opportunity, man. Every single tournament. This transitions into tips and tricks. Every single opportunity, I ask if I can cast, and I've been turned down for every one tournament or thing that I managed to cast. I've probably been turned down 15 to 20 times.
Wow.
About everything else, and I just remember being happy if like 40 people would tune in.
Yeah.
And if 100 people would tune in. And now all of a sudden, man, when I cast, it's just weird having 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people tune in, and I don't think it, like, I deserve any of it. You know, I think you have to really remain humble. I think the number one thing that really turns people off is entitlement in esports. There's this dude who like wanted to become the project manager for Blizzard, and he just made this huge blog about why he deserved it, and no one likes him, you know. So the reason why I enjoy Playhem casters so much is because I think all of us realize how lucky we are to get here, because all of a sudden everyone wants to be on Playhem now.
Yeah.
And that's why I enjoy casting with all of you guys. So my number one thing for all you guys inspiring to be casters, just stay humble and stay low. There's no need for you to explode before your time. Everyone has their own processes of how they get there. Stick with it. Don't quit.
Kibbelz had a half-hearted like heart. He like tried to do it. And he like gave up. He's like, not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah, that's actually exactly.
I'm fortunate, like Robin as well. Brightside did an interview on me. That's on Team Liquid as well. You can find a lot of that, my kind of upbringing in it. So I'm going to keep mine really brief as well. I started kind of like I played a lot when the beta came out and stuff, but not like hardcore, just casually. And then I started casting this last summer because I liked talking about the game more than I liked playing it. I mean, we all get frustrated sometimes playing the game, obviously. And I just found out one day, me and my buddy went to lunch, and we just talked for like 2 or 3 hours, kind of just like theory crafting stuff. And I'm like, I could do this literally like all day. So I started hosting my own like King of the Hills. I like made a PayPal account and like put some money into it, where if people won 5 games in a row, they got $5. And I was kind of like you guys, where I was like really happy if I had like 4 to 10 viewers watching me. I was like, yes, this is awesome. Tomorrow it'll be 100 or something, but it never got that way. But I was really just happy with the practice and the turnout that I got. And again, with Robin's kind of take on it, I got really lucky, especially with this MLG, this last for Orlando. Oh, excuse me, Providence. like right at the last thing. It was like literally like 2 days before Providence, and I noticed like in some article, because they were talking about the beta streamers, that it was like Robin, Tumba, and Adabisi. And for some reason in my head it went through really quick that I'm like, whoa, there's 4 beta streamers in Orlando, so maybe they need one more. So I just emailed like 5 different people, and lucky enough for me, DJ Wheat lives like 3 blocks away from me, so I emailed him and I'm like, can you write a reference for me? And he did, which was really awesome. So that's how I got into cast a few games for MLG, which was just really fortunate, and I feel really lucky for that. So some tips and tricks, I guess, like I said, just like go back to Frodan's point too. Just email anybody you can about casting. Go to those low tournaments. I remember I started casting like gold and silver league tournaments too. Just cast anything you can, and that's how you'll get noticed.
All right. Kibbs. Sorry, NerdSwagger.
All right.
That was fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm sorry. I felt like I cut you off, and now I need to make a
No,
mix
I
for
was
it.
done. You're good.
Okay.
You're so bad at transitioning. It's the one thing we're gonna have to
It's
work on.
like I want to tell
I
a
feel like a
riddle
second
about
gear.
Kibbelz. No, I'm gonna stop. That's bad.
I mean, I can hand it off to you. Tell them how I got in. But guys, I actually looked up my YouTube to check when I posted my first video,
Nice.
and it was on October. Oh, crap, I closed it. On October 9th of 2010. Again, my commentary. I knew that I wanted to get into StarCraft commentary, but it's actually not posted on my actual YouTube. It's posted on my archaic one. It's Kibbelz and Bits. It's the full thing.
Nice.
Not a YouTube that I use anymore. And yeah, so I initially just got it started through YouTubing. I made like a bunch of YouTube videos on KMB, but I didn't. If you take a look, I didn't actually launch my YouTube for a full like 6 months later. I launched it in March. For like 3 months after I through October to January, I was like commentating all the time, but I was a little insecure. I didn't want to. You know how like if you sing, you're like nervous to sing in front of people. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was really the same way about or if you don't sing, but I was really nervous to like show people my commentary. So I was just like doing it all, and I wouldn't post any of it. I was just like watching it, and then I just completely like forgot about commentary when the new year came and Christmas break and everything. And then in March I watched GSL March. And GSL March was, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was MC versus Jesus Christ, Jill Isaac, and it was just the most incredible GSL tournament. Like I was just so mind blown. I was like, why did I stop doing this? So I immediately started commentating a ton again, and then when it came to getting involved with Playhem, it was actually quite simple. Like I was emailing tons of different places, and one day I asked my buddy, I was like, or I actually asked, he was one of my Twitch TV viewers, because I was streaming StarCraft all the time. I was playing a ton in addition, and I asked all my viewers, I was like, yo, so if anybody has any ideas and how I can get either on a team, or because I thought a team would be a good way to do commentary, or if I can get more involved with commentary, let me know, because this is everything I've tried and I just can't get more involved. And so one of my viewers sent me a link, and he was like, look, here's a tournament you can enter. And he's like, I hear if you do well in tournaments that it's easy to get picked up, even for casting, but also onto a team. And I was like, okay, why not? So I entered my first Playhem tournament. And it was actually a link to a team Liquid Red. Playhem was just coming out. At the bottom, there was a note that said, hey, we need casters. And like everything else, I sent them an email. And I entered the tournament. About halfway through the tournament, I have to ask a question, because I'm an idiot. I don't know if we play on the same map, or if loser gets to pick in the best of threes, because I made it to the best of threes. And Neeb asked me in all capitals. He says, "Are you the Kibbelz and Bits?" And I was like, "What?" Like question mark. And he's like, "Are you the guy who sent me the email?" And I was like, "You already like." Yes, you already read that, and you called me the Kibbelz and Bits, and I was just so excited. And immediately he was like, I loved your commentary, we would love to have you on sometime. I was like, oh. And so about a week later, I had my first cast with Playhem, and it's been fantastic ever since. But yeah, you guys have all said the right word. It's I mean, I'm gonna use a different one here, because I'm a Phi Gamma Delta, and if anybody knows Calvin Coolidge, he was a Phi Gamma, so I'm gonna use persistence. But nothing takes the place of persistence, consistency. That's what it takes, guys, to get into anything in life if you truly, truly want it. So, I'm going to pass it on over to my man to the right of me.
Fun little story, actually, real quick. About Kibbelz when he applied, because if we're going to do a little bit, like, I just wanted to say that back in June when I was the only caster and I was solo casting these Playhem dailies. Oh my god, it was. I can't even remember doing that, but I remember when Kibbelz application came in, and then because at the time it was me and Neeb and Ben, and then basically every person who's here right now goes through the same process as you do. Like where we put up a caster up for everyone to see. But back then it was just Neeb talking to me. He's like, "What do you think about this Kibbelz guy?" And I was like, "All right, well, I'll put it like, yeah, I'll look at him." And then actually, because I was so busy, Neeb always asked me, like, you just need a co-cast. You need someone else to cast with you. So I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And I never actually looked at any of the applications, but he's like, dude, you need to actually look at this guy. So I looked at it, and I heard it, and I was like, how is this guy actually not bigger, and how is he not known?
Yeah.
And it was like, I just said, we need to actually pick him up. Like, it was... Incidentally, you're like the first application I actually looked at look through the whole video, because from the get-go I knew you'd be successful, and Kibbelz, I actually really believe in your casting, so
I have like
we're very happy.
I literally I can't see in the camera, but I have like tears in my eyes right now.
Oh. Yeah, it's the same for me. The first time I heard Kibbelz, like his personality, like his laugh. I don't know if this guy is a good caster. He puts his personality, like the I don't know how he's gonna do the laugh, but it's so awesome to watch you cast. So like not trying to.
So somewhere in the world now, there are 5 people who put their applications in before Kibbelz going, "What? They never looked at it? Oh my god, my life is over."
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just so happy somebody looked at it, because if I don't know, it makes me sick. Thanks for. That was nice to know.
Bro tears.
J Shark.
Go J Shark.
Oh, I'm busy looking at the chat and their bro tears, and it's so touching. It's so sweet. Oh, Kibbelz is amazing. All right, I'm gonna have to get on this at some point. Wow. Well, I used to. I never played Brood War. I got into StarCraft in the beta because I managed to get that because I used to play Diablo quite a lot, and really got into GSL and really liked watching tournaments. And coincidentally, I have this mic at home, like just a condenser mic, sat on my desk. And the reason I had this mic was because back when I was in Hong Kong, so long time ago now, I used to be a singer, and I was intending originally to come over to the UK, bought this really nice expensive mic, and I was going to be recording some stuff a year or two ago, and I never really got around to doing it, primarily because I sing and I play the piano, and conveniently I don't have a piano in this room. So I thought, well, better put this mic to some good use, and I started seeing what opportunities there were for me to cast. And I believe one time there was like, I was on QXC's stream, sort of like watching him because he's just a really fun guy to watch on stream. And he was doing these fan game FFAs, and I thought, wow, this is absolutely amazing. But it's really annoying. I'm only able to see the game from his point of view because so much other stuff's going on. He was on Skype with a couple of people. It was a lot of fun. And I said, hey, dude, because I just got a new computer and I was trying out XSplit because I wanted to stream some of my stuff. And I was like, hey, dude, let me see if I can come on and cast some of these FFAs. And he went, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And this is probably in October last year, so this is quite recent. And he said, okay. And I get on, I cast a couple of FFAs. Some of those are still on YouTube, actually, although they're really bad. Like, it was my first attempt, and it was pretty horrible. But everyone enjoyed themselves, and I thought, maybe I can actually get into this. And shortly after that, I started my YouTube channel. A couple of videos went up, nothing major, and I started using Twitter a lot more. And a couple of the really nice community casters helped me out. I sent emails to specifically, see if I can remember, Duckbill LOL, who's an Australian caster, and Orb, who you guys might know from the Korean weeklies. I heard from Mr. Bitter on Team Liquid, who were basically giving me really, really good advice about how people should get into casting and what they should do. And I'll come back to that at the end because I want everyone to know this stuff as well. But where I really got into casting properly was EGL4. The European Gaming League had a tournament in London in November, and that was held at the Emirates Stadium. For any of you football/soccer fans out there, Arsenal FC. And it was absolutely massive event. There were lots of console games, StarCraft, the works. And I noticed when I got there, because I was just there as a dude who got sent there because I won tickets at my local Barcraft, right? And I noticed that no one was doing press, and I thought, well, why is this? And I brought my camera in the next day, and literally off the back of that, I just randomly got into the event, and I was doing interviews with Dignitas OD, I was interviewing some of the top players. I was standing behind them as they streamed. And this was also the event when Mr. Bitter was supposed to cast live on stage along with Leon Starcraft and Adrenal, who were both there. And he wasn't there, and halfway through the second day, one of the casters was like, actually, I really need a break. And I heard this Jorosar guy was around. Do you want to take the stage? And I was like, wait, what? And this was going out live on Team Liquid and everything, and there were a couple of thousand. And all I'd ever done today was sort of 3 or 4 people cast watching me like fail on stream once or twice. And I went, this is amazing! So I got on the Team Liquid stream. It was really awesome. If anyone has seen my website, I don't mean to plug, but check out jorosar.com. There's a couple of EGL related sort of blog posts. You'll be able to see everything there. And I got on this stage and I casted a couple of the games. It was absolutely fantastic. People said they really liked my casting and they wanted me to get into it a bit more, and I was really buoyed by that experience. And from the back of that, I don't know if you remember, QXC then played Cats in a best of 31, absolutely epic series, about a month and a half ago now. And because I had done this, and I'd spoken to QXC before when I did the FFAs, I was like, hey dude, maybe I'll get around to casting that, and I did. And there were only 3 streams up, his view, Cat's view, and me doing the commentary, and I stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning from 10 p.m. Doing that, and off the back of that, I contacted Playhem with an application. They were like, hang on a second, weren't you the guy that did? And already I was in my chair going, oh my god, this is amazing! And literally 4 days after that, I got put on a trial cast with Lillian, and here I am, man. It's been great, and like, I've gone from nothing to doing this stuff so quickly. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's all a dream or something really cliche, but it feels like it's one of those things that could just disappear in an instant, and you really just have to enjoy the moment. And the biggest piece of advice I want to share with anyone aspiring to become a caster is definitely something that Mr. Bitter told me. I asked him on a Team Liquid private message. I said, hey Bitter, I know you've got no reason to talk to a scrub like me, but I'm trying to get into casting, and I really just want a bit of advice. What am I supposed to be doing? I think I'm pretty good, but I don't know, because like not enough people watch me. I need feedback. And I'll never forget his reply to me. He said, the most important thing about being a successful caster when you're starting out is to make sure you put yourself out there. And that even if the opportunities come along, you're there to receive them. You're not there to push for it and try asking every single person for an opportunity to cast, although that's part of it. You're there just to make sure you're in the right place at the right time, and if you're not putting yourself out there in the first place, it's not going to work. I went to EGL4, there was no one there doing press. I just went along with my DSLR and started snapping photos and said, hey, let's do some interviews with the players, and it got loads of views on YouTube. I was just there when QXC was doing his fan stream, and I thought, oh, maybe I could cast this, and then I ended up casting his best of 31 later on. I was just there watching Playhem, and I was like, actually, these guys are really awesome. I really want to be a part of this. This is incredibly cool. And now I'm here with you guys, and you just got to put yourself out there. I woke up at 5:20 in the morning to do this. I had no idea what the show was about until like just during the EU Daily yesterday, and I just didn't care. It sounded like something so awesome that I had to drag my ass out of bed. That's why I'm in my sexy robes, by the way. Here I'm chilling out with you guys, because at the end of the day, these are really small sacrifices to make for something you love. I love StarCraft and I love esports, and I think this is a fantastic way of giving back to the community. So this kind of thing makes me happy, and I think it's great if other people want to get into it as well. Just remember, put yourself out there, and definitely put the work in. Like, sticking 20 hours a week into casting isn't actually that bad. And in fact, that's actually a bit of a small commitment, especially you do stuff for YouTube, because as you all know, encoding stuff is horrible. But we do it because it's what we love, and if it's what you love, then there's just no reason not to, man. It's just a fantastic experience, and I'd recommend everyone should give it a shot. Wow.
I don't really know how to follow that. That was pretty ridiculous.
So
Heartfelt, like, all you guys have these really heartfelt things to say. I just have to ask people in chat if they can hear me, because my mic's kind of gone wonky.
Now.
They can hear me in the chat?
Yeah, now we can hear you. I wasn't hearing you earlier, but now we're good.
Okay.
Now we good.
Good, sounds good. Well, I don't have like a heartfelt story of of these calibers, I should say. But
he was just banging bitches and
yeah, I was out playing the game, man, out on the street. And
my question.
Gotta hit that button, man.
Yeah, let's hear this question real quick.
All right, I wanted to just ask you guys real quick. This is a yes or no question. Do you guys rewatch any of your old casts?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
after you-
Yeah.
Yes.
Frodan and I did last
And they
couple
are
days
so
ago together.
bad.
We watched a couple of our first casts, and we were just laughing at each other.
Did
just
you ever
the
watch
stuff.
like even recent ones, like to like criticize yourself or what?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like the sound of my voice. Like it annoys me to listen to myself. So
Just wanted to know real quick because I never watch any of my old casts. I don't know if that's a good idea.
You asked
or-
me about that. You got all concerned.
I know.
Like the other day, you're like, I was listening to the cast that we did, and you're like, you listen to those things? And I'm like, well, yeah. You're like, oh my god.
I never listened to.
Oh
Any of
my
casts,
god.
Any of them? So I'm just wondering if that's a bad thing or not.
no,
It's a
good.
tool.
I mean, people have their own ways
I
of.
think you should.
Yeah, you
think
should.
it's- Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
it's
you're-
good to.
plays
I think
and
it's
stuff.
better to give it to someone else that you're, close with and who obviously plays StarCraft and is very familiar with the game, and ask them for their input. I feel like
Okay.
I don't know. If I watch it, it's like listening to yourself. I keep comparing it to singing, but I mean, how much
Yeah.
good criticism can you give to yourself
Yeah.
when you're the one who did it?
You can catch
That's-
yourself. You can catch yourself falling into traps though, where you like say the same phrase over and over and over again.
No
No
problem.
problem. Oh.
No
Yeah.
problemo.
No, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
blame that on Tumba.
Easy
I blame
peasy.
that on Tumba.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
Alright.
I need to stop
Shane
saying
started
Robin
the-
so much in my cast.
Yeah, man.
Sorry
Yeah, man.
to steal your thunder. Go ahead with your.
Oh yeah, I've got my
Buffalo.
story to tell. Don't
Robin.
What I do?
No,
I?
Frodan, I need to stop saying Robin.
And Robin, just for the good man, the sound of your voice, we all love it. It doesn't annoy us. We want to hear it.
It's good, man. I wouldn't
Thank you.
wouldn't worry about that.
John, you're so good at talking to people.
I know. I can Brady Bunch this really hard. Like, yes.
Brady
Thank-
Bunch.
Thank you, Frodan, for such a good
You've been
point.
practicing, man.
Kibbelz, I'll give you a high five. You ready? You ready?
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Do it. Come on, Kibbelz. Give it up.
I was-
There you go.
Let's do. We gotta time it up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was terrible.
Nice.
1, 2,
Right,
3.
1, 2, 3.
I
Yeah.
got that one enough. All right.
Good job,
Now
guys.
You guys
Yes.
were separated by like 2
No,
inches. on
no
the screen.
kiss.
Now kiss.
All right. Well, I have a short story. It's not as like in depth, I guess, but I cast on the side. I mean, I'm following my dream, sure, all that good jazz, but let's see. I think I decided I wanted to give this a try after MLG Anaheim, and it was my first MLG like StarCraft event, and I remember sitting in the audience thinking, damn, all these people really love esports, and this is an awesome community. And I thought, like, well, how much time do I spend, like, jerking around playing Battlefield 3 or just sitting at my computer watching streams? Like, I'm not creating content. I'm not helping the community. I'm just being a part of it, you know? And I was like, well, I've done radio work before, and I was like, well, how could I get involved, and how could I do this? So I decided that I would try to cast for 1 month. That was my time period to myself. And if I enjoyed it, not necessarily if I was successful at it, but if it was something I enjoyed doing after a month, I would continue it. And if it wasn't something I liked, I would just stop. And that's kind of the way I go about things. And I did the first step that anyone else does when they get into casting. You go and you buy XSplit, and you get yourself a Justin TV channel, and you just start doing it. And I did cast actually from Cast It, and this is my big kind of tip. There's a Reddit sub-community called r/casted, and it's a community of people who want games to be casted, and people and casters looking for games. So if you guys go add that, it desperately needs both ends of that. It needs people in there submitting games to be casted for feedback, and then it's good for casters as well. r/casted, and I just did like every game that was on the sheet. I downloaded all the replays from that page, and I did them. And I thought it was like, okay, cool, well, I can get like 30-40 people watching me, and that was awesome to get like views. But then I started working with SCV Rush for a little bit, doing I believe it was the Craft Cup on Fridays, and just like everyone else said, you start small, you do small audiences, man. I remember the first time I got 100 people viewing me, and I was like,
That was so hard, dude.
I know, it's crazy.
100's
Like,
so hard.
100 is hard to get. I remember the day we got
Yeah,
it,
man.
and like everyone who played in Craft Cup, the pros were also streaming it. Like, so when you went to the Craft Cup thing on Team Liquid, it was like 10 featured streams. You know what I mean? And then like we're the casters, and we're like the 10th one down as far as viewership. And you're like, well, you know, people would rather just watch their stream without any commentary. You're like, well, I guess they just prefer not hearing anything, hearing me to not hearing me for the same like content. But I remember when I broke 100 people, and I was so jazzed. Like, I called up my friends like on Skype, and I'm like, dude, I just casted to 100 people. It was insane. And then I guess perseverance and the next step of what everyone was saying, I started just asking around for casting opportunities and cold calling people. And I suggest that to a lot of people out there. Cold call tournaments, cold call organizations, and just get your name out there. Be like, hey, I'm a caster, check out my stuff, check out Team Liquid threads, check out Reddit threads for opportunities, and you're going to get a lot of rejection, and that's a part of anything, growing, getting better at it. Eventually I cold called the CSL, the Collegiate Star League, and was like, hey, do you guys need casters? And met a wonderful community of admins and players there, casted for them. Frodan here was actually my first official like CSL cast with another person, and it was really like nerve-wracking because I looked up Frodan's profile. I'm like, you're going to be casting with Frodan, and I'm like, Frodan, awesome, I'll check him out. And I went to his Twitch, and it was like a night of one of the Playhems or something, and you had like 400 people like in your channel watching the Frodan netcast, and I was like, oh my god, this guy. And I like went back and listened to you and like, you know, your old cast. I'm like, oh my god, I'm supposed to cast with this person. And I'm like, first cast, I'm like, Frodan, I'm really bad at this, but like, I'll try my best, buddy. And we did a couple of casts at the CSL, and that's kind of what I started putting a lot of my time into. And eventually I got the call, man. Got the call. Was sitting just at my desk, and ring-a-ding-ding, got the call from Playhem. Was like, hey, would you like to do a tryout? And I was like, I made it. That's it. Packing my bags. I'm going to Hollywood. You know, kissed my mom on the cheek. Got my like neckerchief or handkerchief in my shirt, and got on the bus. You know, left cold, dark Fairbanks, and headed out to the grandeur that is Playhem, and the rest is history. But yeah, I mean, just for the rest of you guys out there who want to do it, persistence, and you got to work on your craft. You can't just sit back and like have it happen. You need to cast a lot. You need to practice. You need to have people listen to you. And the biggest thing I'd say is you need to be willing to listen to criticism from yourself and from other people, or else you're not going to get any better.
Even if it's like negative criticism, like people are like, you fucking suck, learn Protoss. Just like, okay, I need to learn Protoss.
Yeah.
Disregard the first part, but really take what you can from any type of criticism. I mean, you have to
I'm
take
gonna say
everything.
fuck, just so Robin's not the only one who said fuck the whole night.
Yeah, fuck.
Sorry. I'm
Fuck.
very
Fuck.
bad mouth when I'm not casting. My
Ring a
apologies.
ding ding.
No, you're absolutely right though. You really are. It's easy to just keep throwing emails, and there's enough rejection at this point that you're just gonna be like, people are gonna be like, no, and you know what? You make it ain't like riding a bike. You know, games get patched, and certainly suddenly Immortals are doing more damage or have more range than you remember.
Oh, so good.
Suddenly-
Warp Prism, why you would no die? You are so strong, Warp Prism.
I want to bring up that actually. I want to follow up on that point real quick. That you haven't made it unless you have haters.
Yeah.
Like, I have actually a lot of haters, so it's just like it encourages me though, because I realize
You got
that
5 right here, buddy.
I'm going so
You got
much.
5 right here.
Who is that guy? Why is he above me? Oh my god.
It's so big.
Frodan, why would you do that?
Yeah, hey, why's Frodan in the middle? This is bullcrap.
We'll mix it up for the next After Hours.
Jeez.
We'll shuffle the squares.
He had Frodan. Oh.
If you have haters, it's just because you need to push harder. Because I just think it's what builds your character. You know, you gotta build thick skin. Don't be like some other people in the community who respond to every single little criticism. And like, I mean, I'm just gonna pick on Robin for a second, but he's got even more haters than me, dude. And he's like one of the most gracious people he deals with. Like, there's people who hate on him as he's casting, and he's like gonna take on the liberty and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to change that like right now. And he's just like constantly moldable, and that's also another reason why I think Robin will be successful. Just because, I mean, you hear all these like companies, like McDonald's is like a real estate company, but ends up being a fast food thing, and just people who roll with the punches are the ones who end up being successful. So I think with all those haters and like all those things, it's just I mean, those things are just what, like, I think a good analogy is like gold. has to go through fire in order to be pure and refined. So everyone's got to go through those tough things in order to really put out that clean finished product. So use those haters and don't avoid them.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Try to make it into a joke too. I don't know. I try to make it into a laughing matter in some way, shape, form. I don't know. I feel it makes it a little bit better to hurt, and it stings less. It stings less, guys. But yeah.
I just drink heavily. I just every time I read a thread and they're like, "Who the hell's StarCraft Alaska? He doesn't know shit. He's only in Diamond League. Fuck that guy." I'm just like,
do you want to feel better? Do you want to feel better, Alaska?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got promoted to platinum.
Oh!
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Oh my goodness.
I think we should have a caster tournament. There's a lot of talk every time.
Oh my god.
We should have a 1v1 caster
I think
tournament.
you can take everyone here except Frodan. I've seen Shane play. It's fucking.
Bring it on, Robin.
Yeah, really, bring it on, Robin. Holy crap.
I think I could take.
I threw that game, Robin, just to get you off guard.
I've watched. Yeah, I've watched you
hard.
stream, Robin. It's not okay.
I mean, literally, it's an easy one.
It's not
just four
okay.
gates.
Yeah,
So I'm not worried about him.
He has one
It's
build.
I don't know, man.
All right,
Oh,
Shane, close it out.
All right, guys. Well,
Really quickly, Shane.
All right.
Someone in chat just mentioned something that I actually think is pretty good. He said, how do you guys deal with roommates when casting? And funnily enough, that wall right there,
I have
It's
such a good story
like-
about that. Oh my god.
flatmate, who can probably hear me talking through the wall. I'm just gonna have to apologize to him later.
there you go.
But there might be some good stories here, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Quick
Okay.
stories, guys, real quick.
All right, Frodan's got the best one apparently. Go ahead.
Well, no, okay, so my roommate last year when I first started casting was this traditional Mexican who is so used to like living with his family that he's just unafraid to be bare-backed, man. Like he just walks around junk trailing everywhere, dude. Like he's got a lot of hair, man. Like I could skin him and make a carpet and rug for the shower, man. It's just he's got so like, dude, I had to cast with him blasting Mexican trumpets and like baila 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 music, and it was just so weird. The first time I was casting, he was like butt naked, like 2 feet away from me, and then he'd look at me.
What?
He'd, like, look over. It'd be like the thing where he like leans over my shoulder, and then so like his chest hair, I can feel it prickling against my ear, kind of thing. But like I'm like trying to focus on being casting because I'm like trying to be professional and everything. But I really want to reach over and scratch my ear, but I'm afraid I'm gonna like end up curling his chest hair and.
Oh.
Wow, guys.
Like I thought having to like work on like sipping your water and muting drinking this thing you just said.
I don't know what I just heard.
Wow. Oh my god.
All
Casting
right.
is dangerous. It's not for everyone.
Okay,
Really?
guys. I think that story is a good note to end on for our first Playhem After Hours. And I just want to say thank you to all of our fans who have stuck around. For you guys that have stayed for After Hours today, people who stayed for the fan games, you guys are our community, and we support the crap out of you. You guys all get a heart. One of these from us. Come on, Frodan, do it. Do it, Frodan. You're the only one.
Sorry, I'm watching the stream. It's a lot more delayed. So
There you go.
I'm gonna try to do it the other way.
I'm gonna make a red heart.
You're going to do a red heart?
Can't
fail.
make a heart at that angle. Hold on.
What are you trying to do, Kibbelz?
He's trying to match it with his bed spread.
Oh, cool.
No.
That's awesome.
Nice. Good. That's good, Kibbelz.
Oh, look at our chat.
Nice.
So guys, with that, we're gonna end the Playhem After Hours, the first special. Monday nights, guys, please give us feedback, upvotes on Reddit, whatever you want to do. Team Liquid thread, as always, to talk about Playhem. We're here to serve you guys as the community. And I don't know, we're gonna mix things up next week with the locations, because Frodan's getting a little too much love in the center. And we got John is like Lawrence of Arabia right now with his head thing. Looks like he's gonna like head out over the.
His outfit, man.
It's freezing, man. I haven't been up this early in ever, I think. Oh.
Just stay up, man. Tough it out.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Start casting because it makes you warm.
I'm
Take it
gonna
easy, guys.
I'm gonna put on some music and we're gonna fade this guy out. So
Jazz it out all.
jazz it
Play
out.
him after hours.
You need to be the one saying it, honestly, Shane. You just have the smooth voice.
It's true.
All right, guys.
Frodan.
Good night.
Alright.
Hope you guys all have sweet Playhem dreams.
Noise.
Good to go.